Hey guys, Cam here from today's iPhone.com, and I thought since I've been lent this Samsung Galaxy S4 unit very kindly by Phones for You here in the UK, I thought I would compare a few things about the iPhone in a little bit more detail than your standard one phone versus the other phone. And today I wanted to compare the S Voice on this versus Siri on the iPhone. I will have camera comparisons, hopefully video comparisons up at some point later on, but I thought first of all let's give this a spin and see how well these two cope with standard voice commands. What I wanted to do was just use natural language everyday commands and see which one of these can cope best day to day. So let's just try a few things and see what they come up with. What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Better bring a raincoat tomorrow.
What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Don't forget your rain boots on Saturday.
So there we go. Now what I'm doing is, because what I found happened, you won't see this in the video, but what I've been doing is trying to speak the same command at once and record it at once on both devices. But when Siri responds on my iPhone, the Galaxy's been thinking that that's a command. And it's just heard me say Galaxy now, so it's just switched itself on again. But that's quite irritating. But anyway, you can see they've both got the weather quite accurately. Siri's got a different user interface, I actually like the pretty one here, although on the iPhone obviously you do get a 5-day forecast, not just the single day like you get on the Galaxy. So let's give...
Here is the weather for Portland, Oregon. It's 16 degrees with lots of sunshine today.
I have absolutely no idea why it thought I wanted weather for Portland, Oregon. I must have said something just then. But as you can see, I carried on talking and it recorded myself, and it's very, very sensitive, which can get a little bit annoying at times. But anyway, let's give this another go and see what happens when I want to check, look for local restaurants, for instance. Where's the nearest Italian restaurant?
I found 5 Italian restaurants. 2 of them are fairly close to you. I've sorted them by distance.
See, now you'll see that Siri's brought me a really nice looking list here that will show me my 5 nearest Italian restaurants, and it will show me them. It's organised them in terms of distance from where I live. If I wanted to select one to book, it gives me all the information that I could possibly need in that little card there, which is really, really cool. Let's see what Galaxy does. Hi Galaxy. Where's my nearest Italian restaurant?
Web search, where is my nearest Italian restaurant?
Now what it does, it takes you outside of the app and it goes straight to Google. Which is, again, it's not quite as convenient as having this kind of information. It will mean that you have to go into another web service to try and get the information that you wanted. So that's something, from the iPhone point of view, that's obviously more convenient. Let's say we want to go shopping and I want to drive over to Newcastle where there's a great shopping centre. Give me directions to the Metro Centre.
I found 5 places matching Metro Centre. Tap the one you want directions to.
All these are part of the same Metro Centre here, so I'm just going to go with the top one.
Getting directions to Odeon Metro Centre.
Now obviously that takes you into Maps, and then you've got the option to start navigation. Now if we go into...
Starting route to Odeon Metro Centre. Head northeast on Etterbury Road.
So it's entered navigation view. I'm going to end that and we'll go back into Siri in a second, but I want to try see what Galaxy does. Hi Galaxy, give me directions to the Metro Centre.
I will navigate you to Metro Centre.
And it pretty much does the same thing. It opens its own Maps app navigation, it will search for GPS, and then you can see although the maps interface is slightly different, it will give me directions and it thinks I'm driving. So it's gone straight into navigation mode, which is fantastic. Now, you can use other commands. You can say navigate to make it easier, but I'm trying to use natural language, like I said at the start, to see which one responds better to that. So let's go ahead and try and set some reminders for ourselves, so that obviously with Siri you can set reminders and it will write in the reminders app. So let's see if we can do the same thing with both devices. Remind me to go shopping tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Remind me to go shopping tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Save this task.
Yes.
Saving your task. Okay, I saved it.
So there we go. Now, Siri and S-Voice in that instance do exactly the same thing. It's a very, very similar service, as I'm sure you've gathered by now. Now, one of the things that people love about Siri is also that you can get things like sports scores, you can get information. So let's see if we can do that as well. What is the tallest mountain in England?
Looking.
We'll see what this comes up with now.
Here's what I found.
There we go, and it's found all this information. Well, it's come up with Ben Nevis, which, as we all know, is not in England, it's in Scotland. But I guess that's a general mistake that most people outside the UK will make, is that they'll call the whole lot England. Let's see if Galaxy does any better at not finding a mountain in Scotland. What is the tallest mountain in England?
Ben Nevis, 4,406 feet.
What you've got here is that with the iPhone you get this whole card full of images and maps and details, and although it got the answer wrong, it's a lot more detailed and it's all in the app. But if I press more on the Galaxy, then you'll see that you've got very similar information here. In fact, it's pretty much the same information. It comes from the same source. Both tap into Wolfram Alpha, which has got all the information in the world. Let's try something else. Let's see if it's got sports statistics, which we know Siri has. How many goals has Gareth Bale scored this year?
Gareth Bale has 20 goals this season.
How many goals has Gareth Bale scored this year?
Google search how many goals has Gareth Bale scored this year.
There we go. Now with Samsung's one, it obviously doesn't do sports in the same way, so that's something that you'll need to, I guess. It's not too much of a hardship to just Google it, but it does kind of take the experience again. It takes the experience outside of the app. Let's try personality and see if it copes well with jokes or comments. Will you marry me?
You should know that you're not the only one who's asked.
Will you marry me?
I would make a terrible spouse.
So they've both got their own kind of built-in sense of humour, which is quite nice to see. That S-Voice is much more than your standard voice actions kind of application, which you often used to see on phones where you just said a command and it would translate it into language, and most of the time it wouldn't get it. But S-Voice is remarkably good. Now let's see what else we can do here. We'll see if we can do something on here that we can't do on Siri. Let's go with read the news.
I'm unable to load news articles.
Oh, so it can't do that. You can set timers. Obviously we know we can set timers on Siri as well as Galaxy, but let's see if it does it in-app or if it takes you outside. So Siri, set timer for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, your timer is set for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Set timer for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Set timer for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
So again, S-Voice does it in-app.
Cancel or speak time again.
start.
Timer started.
So obviously there's the main difference there, is actually with Siri it's heard you, it does it straight away. With Galaxy you have to do it, you have to confirm it afterwards, it asks you if you're sure. So as you can see, they're both very similar, and there's not a lot you can't do on this one that you can do on the Galaxy. And they're very, I mean, to be honest, I was thinking that the S Voice was not going to be anywhere near as good as Siri, but actually you can do quite a lot with it. And whether you want to navigate somewhere, whether you want to set yourself a reminder or timer or alarm, check the weather, you can do absolutely everything. I was very impressed with Samsung's actually. Something that I've got used to on iPhone is normally how much better it is than all the other voice action type applications. So really cool. I hope you enjoyed this comparison. If you've got any questions about S-Voice or Siri, please feel free to tweet me. I'm at @TIP_Cam. And as always, use the comment section, hit subscribe, like us on Facebook, all that jazz, and I will see you again soon.